Genji 2 is an action game which is based on Japanese history. Being based on history, the stages of the game will also be based on famous battles which actually took place in ancient Japan. So here's this giant enemy crab.
Liz, do you think you'd ever try a tabletop game like Dungeons and Dragons again?
Yeah. I told last time you brought up the one shots, and I said I'd be down to try one of those. What was it?
Shadow Dark.
Shadow Dark. Yeah, I actually want to.
Isn't Shadow Dark like the? I can't remember.
It's the more combat short form oriented.
Yeah, that one.
Right?
That's not interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more like a dungeon delving, very crunchy, I guess. Like you can very easily die and just get like completely.
Yeah, I enjoy them. I do not enjoy sitting around for an hour waiting for my turn when I have shit I have to do. That's my big thing with D&D.
Yeah.
Why do you ask?
Well, I was asking because I've been reading some other like systems, and also there's a new tabletop that recently came out that is getting a little bit of traction because the people that released it are kind of famous. So I was going to talk about that as well.
Oh, well, I would love to hear about that on episode 49 of the Giant Enemy Crab podcast. It's 49, right?
Oh,
yes.
Because we're not at 50. We got to do something for 50.
That was almost smooth.
It was almost smooth, man. We're not on it today. It is episode 49. Oh my God. Send me to jail.
Lock them up.
Lock them up. I'm your host, Fliz, doing a terrible job. I'm joined by these three wonderful gentlemen as always. Sungar,
Hey.
Kylar,
Hello,
and Strider.
Greetings.
Tell me about this tabletop game.
Ooh, so it's like a mix of an aspect of it that I know you would love, and I know that you would like really not like as well. But no, it's Daggerheart, which is the new tabletop RPG released by Critical Role, who you may have heard of with Matt Mercer and such.
I don't know anything beyond the name of Critical Role.
Yeah, they're basically a very famous tabletop and Dungeons and Dragons group. They've been doing it for over a decade now, and they released their own tabletop. It's officially out now after being in beta for a little bit. Came out a few days ago, and I haven't been able to play it yet, but I've been reading kind of their little SRD that they have, kind of the rules, what people are saying about it. It's really interesting, but it's got some interesting problems with it as well that are kind of unique to it. One that I was going to tell you that's interesting about it is the game has no turns. Like,
so everybody's just yelling all the time?
Yeah, like actually, like you just go whenever you want. Like that is just how the game works. Like you just.
That feels like I do this. No, I do that. I have a shield. F you. Like.
Yeah, that's literally like how it goes, is if you wanted to. The game is supposed to be a heavy narrative-based role-playing game, which is counteracted by the fact that the actual combat is pretty in-depth. There's a lot going on with the combat, which feels strange for a narrative game, but it uses a really interesting system for it, because in Dungeons and Dragons, for example, in order to do anything, you have to roll like a 20-sided die, right? Like on your turn, you roll the dice, say what you want to do, and that determines how you do it. Daggerheart works a little bit differently. Instead, the players, they roll 2d12 or 12-sided dice, and that is their total roll. What's different about it is the die are actually different. One is called a hope die, the other is called a fear die. And whenever you roll, whatever dice has the higher number, like the hope die, for example, the player gets what's called a hope that they can spend on their abilities. But if the other die is higher, the fear die, the dungeon master gets a fear that they can spend on their abilities that they want to do for both themselves or like the creatures that they're running and stuff. So what you get is a system where everyone's just kind of going and like building up this currency as they're doing stuff to spend on like really awesome stuff. And then they can just stop to spend those resources on the things that they have and just basically take their churn real quick. So it makes this like really kind of like faster paced story where people do stuff until like a really cool moment happens when someone has enough of that currency to do something.
Ooh, I wanna try a tabletop again. I just gotta not. I can't commit to like a multi-month generational game that lasts a million years.
Yeah, no, that's my fault just because my games are always like way out of control. I go a little too hard in them. But there's a like there's a starter kit that they've released for this for free if you want to give it a try. And from what people are saying, it is like a solid like 2-3 hours, and that's what's like kind of designed to be. You just play it 2-3 hours, you're done, and that's it. Then you're good to go. And then you can either like do something else. And what's interesting about it too is that there is no real setting for the game. Kind of like how D&D has the Forgotten Realms and such, and it has some other stuff. Instead, they give like frameworks where they just describe like the setting that you can play in if you want to, and they give you like some lore that you can use if you want, and you just play in it for. And like one of those things, for example, that I use that was interesting. I was talking about it with someone else, was they have like this Wild West setting mixed with like these Colossus type like mecha creatures that are just wandering out in the Wild West, which sounds like really cool. And then Matt Mercer is also running a campaign to show off the new tabletop that is like inspired by Elden Ring and Dark Souls. So they got some interesting things here. If you have never played a tabletop game, you can consider trying this out. Again, the starter kit's like exactly free. It'll tell you the rules, get you started, and you can just try it out for yourself. Go ahead.
How do you feel about this? Might be a good 50th episode. We could do a round of Daggerheart. That might be a fun idea. I'm down.
Yeah,
dude.
we can try
sounds
it.
Fun.
Yeah, we can try it out. The issue that I have with the game, it's not so much an issue like with it on how it functions. It's a very narrative heavy game because the rules are so loose with how you create your character, even where you just have to imagine stuff. There are no like answers for a lot of the things. As an example, when you're making your character in D&D, like you select your skills. Like I want to be good at Arcana and I want to be good at like history, and so when I make those checks, I'm good. You can do something similar in this game, but there is no list. You just say what you're supposed to be good at, and it's just completely open to interpretation.
I kind of like that. It feels like it'd be more skewed towards convincing the other players in the DM rather than going through a book. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be able to do this, so here's my reasoning, which I find more interesting than here's the flat rule.
Yeah. The only problem is like it requires more experience with these types of games because it's very easy when you're trying to introduce someone to games to just give them an answer, then just be like, oh, whatever you want, because just the option of infinite choice is paralyzing in itself.
Oh yeah.
But like once you got it down, it's really cool what you can do because you can start simple where these are examples that are given in the rule book. Like I want to be good at repairing. Like I'm just good at repairing stuff. So if I have to do something that requires me to repair something, I get advantage to it and it's a little bit easier. One of the examples they gave was strikes from above because you can do phrases as well, like 3-word phrases. So now if you're attacking something and you're higher elevation than it, you get advantage when you do it. And you could do like these really cool things where you just make these phrases or like different ideas on how you want your character to act, or like certain builds you're trying to do to really create literally whatever you want. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool open system.
I'm down. I'm ready. I'm interested. You've got me ready to go because you can't fuck that up. It's just imagining things.
Yeah.
And you're a great DM. You have tons of experience. So we'll have Strider DM.
Oh yeah, I want to play. I always DM. I want to play.
I'll DM. I'm
Your
ready.
turn.
I'm actually pretty interested. All right, cool. Daggerheart, you said?
Yep, it's called Daggerheart. They have just an SRD that you can use for free. So if you don't want like all the fancy cool stuff, one thing that I've read for reviews for actually buying the game, like if you're to order it and get their official like rule book and all their different like cards and stuff. The artwork and the actual production quality of all the stuff they have is extremely well done, kind of on par with Wizards of the Coast themselves. So it is definitely like worth checking out. But if you just want to try it, all the rules are just free. You can just go grab them. So whatever you want to do.
I'm gonna take a look after this. My interest is piqued.
I'm looking right now out of curiosity.
Other than that, other video game news that I have is Marathon Bungie. they're not doing so hot. Apparently, according to Forbes, morale at the office is at quite a low point. From what I understand, they have not like moved their like schedule on releasing, and they've been a lot more quiet about like any type of alpha gameplay or anything that they're going to be doing. And now they're having to do like an entire like full asset audit too, just because of all the debacle that they had. For those who don't know, in our previous episode, we were talking about how they got caught stealing artwork from another artist, which is basically the focal point for their entire like visual style for the entire game was based off someone else's art that they didn't really credit.
Did I tell you guys that the artist intentionally put the lost meme in her art and then found it in the stolen art? Yep. It's like, I put that in there. And also, I don't know if did you guys watch any of they did a live play or a stream?
They did.
And it, I watched a little bit of it and skimmed through the rest. Every time I stopped, they were apologizing and saying it was an hour of like random nonsense. It was like trying to hype up a corpse. Like every 2 or 3 minutes, they just had to loop back around to like, yeah, well, we're deeply apologetic for what happened, and we're just trying to move forward. And it was not a pretty sight. It was a far cry from the old days of Jeff talking about Overwatch. Like, this was sad and hard to watch, and the comments are even worse. Like, nobody's falling for anything good coming out about Marathon.
Yeah. Apparently they had to completely rework all the marketing they were going to do, because I guess they're going to release a trailer for the game next month, and also launch pre-orders. So that might just be completely botched now. They might have to also adjust their roadmap. They haven't done it yet, but depending on how long this audit's going to take, because that's a tall order to look at the source of every art asset in the game. Because a lot of the stuff they took was like very small elements of the UI, but they're always on the screen. So like every little thing that is in the game, every like sticker that they put on random objects, they're going to have to look at and just do a ton of Google searching. I don't even know how you do that. Like how you would even do an asset audit.
You don't. The answer to this is you just throw a whole bunch of money at what was her name? Anti-Heal or something?
Anti-Real?
The Anti-Real. Yeah, just throw a whole bunch of money at her and be like, look, we f***ed up. We're sorry. But your art is our whole aesthetic. And take this as take 100, take 250 grand, just do the right thing, pay her, and then you get to keep your game, acknowledge your fuck up, and move on. It's not like Bungie's poor.
I mean, they already said that they're basically going to do something similar to that they were going to make things right, I guess. That's what they're going to do. The problem is they just don't know if anything else was stolen, because like it's one thing to do that for one person, but if they did this for like 90 people.
Oh yeah. Yeah, as I was saying it, I was thinking like, who knows if that's the only thing that was stolen.
Exactly.
Though at this point this is like what, the 4th, 5th time they've been caught stealing things.
Yep.
So
yeah, it's everywhere. It's even in like their official like game trailers too for other games. They've gotten caught, and it's not even like it's very obvious too. Yeah.
It's tough too. In that genre, like your art design is really what makes you stand out from because it's just a MOBA shooter, right?
I don't think
like that.
I don't think it's a MOBA. I think it's an extraction shooter.
Sorry, Mo. They all blend together. I was thinking hero shooter, but if it's
Yeah.
an extraction shooter or a hero shooter, like they're all the same game. They just look different, honestly. Like, there's subtle differences here and there, but pretty much it's the same. It's just the look that changes. So to have that go down the tubes, really, is you'd have to like redo the whole game.
Yeah. And then
Ugh.
also just to be like a part of the team that's making it, it just kind of puts like all the work that you have like down the toilet, because it just all you like see is the fact that everything you have so far is just filled with plagiarism. And you don't see all the stuff that you could contributed or anything. It's just like, we stole a bunch of stuff to make this. And that sucks.
I feel bad for whoever's like not the lead director, whatever his name is, or like the person who stole, but to just be a part of that team. And all right, we're making Marathon. Things are going well. Go to sleep one night, wake up and come into a dead silent office the next morning. What's going on, guys? Take a look at this. Oh, there goes everything.
Wake
Yeah,
up. Uh-oh.
Pretty much, can you imagine like you work on that game for like 5 years, right? And then you're finally done and you go for your next job after your contract's over. You put it on your resume. And then your interviewer says, "Oh, you mean the game that had a bunch of like art assets stolen from 20 different artists? That's what you worked on?" Like, yeah.
Oh,
All because Jimmy was lazy.
All because Jimmy was lazy. Yeah. I can't believe they didn't change anything. They just slapped it in there.
Did they ever release the name or person?
Mm.
I guess they'll never do that.
I don't think.
I'm sure they don't know who it is. To be honest,
They have to.
I don't think so.
Somebody was in charge. I mean, nobody.
Let's say former artists. They might, but they'll probably never release it.
I think they must. You'd have to have known, because nobody's going to want to cover for that. If you're an art designer, you're not going to want to cover for a thief,
No.
regardless of how friendly they are. You're going to be like, nah, you just ruined the project for everyone.
I mean, how friendly can they really be if they're doing that anyways?
Yeah, nobody does something like that and everybody covers for him. He'd have to be the guy who brings donuts every morning.
Laced with cocaine.
Hey, it's time. He's got time. You sure
Got
Jimmy like
time.
finished all of the projects he had again like 4 weeks early?
He's
That's
so
crazy.
good.
So good.
He's a prodigy. He's a wunderkind.
That guy must have been finishing things suspiciously quick. I had nobody notice that because like it didn't change anything.
Well, you just submit your work when it's due. That's all you got to
I
do.
guess true, but like that guy.
Yeah. So yeah, that kind of sucks. I feel bad for the folks at Bungie, and I don't know like how much they're relying on this release to just for the studio as a whole financially. I imagine it's definitely not a small deal. Like they definitely spent a lot of time and money on it.
What was Bungie's? Because the last thing I remember was, they have Destiny.
Yeah.
Or did they sell something off? I don't remember.
No, they still have
so
Destiny.
they have Destiny.
Yep, they got Destiny.
And Halo kind of went in the tubes.
I don't know what's going on with
Tubes.
Halo anymore.
Nobody does, because nobody's playing it.
Yeah. So hopefully things end up going well. If there is anything more to find, I hope they find it. But I hope there's not anything more to find, because that would suck. Other than that, Randy Pitchford has been throwing out the facts recently. Did you guys see?
It's such a weird.
That guy
I saw.
sucks.
Yeah, that's such a weird situation.
He says real fans would pay $80 for Borderlands 4 and that
Now-
they would find a way to do it.
He's been in charge of Gearbox for a long time now. Gearbox does Borderlands.
Yeah.
I can't recall exactly what, but I know he's like constantly a problem. He's always in the news. Like every time Borderlands comes up, something bad about Randy Pitchford comes out too.
I mean, probably the
I'd have to go
the
through.
most iconic thing is probably the USB drive.
Well, explain to me for the uninitiated.
So, from what I understand, is there was a bar that he ended up leaving a part. I think it was a work USB too, not a personal one. At a medieval bar, and the contents of that was basically that he had to state that like, no, this person's at 18. This person's 18, but it was Not a great look, to say the least.
What? Oh my god.
Oh, I think I remember us talking about this.
Yeah,
Maybe not on the
he's a
podcast,
bit
but off, because
strange.
I can't remember ever, like, I don't need USBs full of porn. Like, it's just not
Also,
necessary
why was
for
it at a
any
medieval
reason.
bar?
Don't know. Like, there's a lot of
That's like-
questions. Like, why did Randy Pitchford have this at this location at
Why?
this time?
Why- USB
Well, if you're gonna
porn
take
at
it
a medieval
anywhere-
bar.
The place they can't use it is going to be in medieval times. So
Yeah, they don't even have a computer.
Yeah.
What are they going to do?
Oh man, hook it up to
what a
donkey.
strange device I found. I was bringing to the Baron.
Give that back right now. Oh, yeah. So he can't keep his mouth shut. Imagine,
Yeah, he has a long history of being like an idiot, to put it nicely.
imagine
Well-
being that disconnected where you have these so many issues throughout your career and you still say like that to people.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's wild.
What's
It's
crazy
more that he would
because-
even say it. Like that's the main thing. Whether you think he's right or wrong, like it's just not something that he should be making a statement about. Like
Did you
Is-
find that he made a? Did you find he made a follow up to that too?
he did, yeah. He basically compared it to like how what games cost when he was younger too. How they would be like $80 games, and he would work minimum wage jobs, and he could still make it happen.
I was talking. There's another follow up as well.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I had to find it again, but it actually. What's weird is his secondary follow up after that. This isn't defending him because like he obviously starts going into stupid babble again, but he has some like weird points where like he actually does talk about. All right, here it is. Okay, when asked about the game's price, Pitchford says he doesn't know. It's an interesting time, right? We've got a competitive marketplace. We want people to buy it, so we've got the resources to make more. The people that make those choices want to sell as many units as possible. They want to be careful of people who are price sensitive. We want everyone who buys and plays a Gearbox game to feel certain they got the better end of the bargain. You know, game budgets are increasing. He continues. There's tariffs for the retail packaging. It's getting gnarly out there. Borderlands 4 has more than twice the development budget of 3. And then then it says he veers off talk about philosophy of entertainment. So he has like weird moments, it seems.
Well, that's when PR got a hold of him and said, "All right, you can't be saying this stuff. Here's what you're gonna say."
Oh, yeah, you're talking some sense. Go back to being an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, like, whether you think games should be 80 or 60 or whatever, the fact of the matter is there's with the market how it is right now and how the competitors are, like Game Pass just being a thing just makes it so $80 for Borderlands 4, it just kind of starts to not make sense. And then you definitely shouldn't be making comments about how you should be paying for the game if you're a real fan. Because what was it? Was it Battlefield?
Battlefield 5.
That-
Are you thinking of
Yeah.
what they said? If you don't like it, don't buy it. And then guess what happened?
No one bought it.
Oopsie.
Yeah.
You know, a real fan wouldn't put out that Borderlands movie. I'll tell you that. That's just trash.
Would
So
a
who are
fake
you
fan
talking
put out
to?
that Borderlands movie?
Yes.
I never
Somebody
got.
malicious.
I never saw it.
It was violent, violently, aggressively bad.
I remember you guys saying it was boring.
It was a lot of things, but good was not one of those
The
things.
number one thing I remember is Fliz is going so old every 5 minutes. I don't remember any
Every-
part of the movie.
Jamie Lee Curtis or whatever. What was it? Tance or Lilith?
It was just such a strange. Every decision made was incorrect. For a fan or a casual viewer, none of those decisions gelled with either of those audiences. So I don't know who it was. I don't know who it's for, but it's not for me or anybody I can think of movie. It was strange. So like I said, not created by a real fan, because a real fan would have looked at that and went, "Oh, we f***ed up."
Yeah.
So
The other thing
Whatever.
too, just for Borderlands 4, I feel like the reception for the game has been very underwhelming. Is that just me?
because
Mostly
3 was kind of the miss,
yeah.
and
I liked 3.
some people like it, but generally speaking, it's much less liked than 1 and 2. and Tiny Tina was fine, but I didn't see a whole lot of people praising it to be the greatest thing ever, or even to bring you back to Borderlands.
I'm very hyped personally.
The character design for the characters in 4.
Have you seen the finalized ones? Or are you talking about the original?
Is there a finalized one that they released that's that much different?
I can find a picture more than likely, because I know what you're talking about. This initial one is not what they look like now.
I imagine they had to change them because it wasn't great.
Because here, I'll just post another thing. These are the more finalized designs. That's the best picture I could find on short notice. But
oh no, this is what I'm talking about.
Is what you're talking about? I like the designs.
I mean, that's just Lucio. Genji's over there. This guy is just Reinhardt without a hammer, and then you got this lady.
Well, that's because you're Overwatch brained.
No, I mean,
he's not wrong.
I kind of agree.
No, this is.
I don't care. Like,
it's a little generic.
These could be skins for those characters. I'm not even joking. Like, it's not great. I don't know. It just on top of that, when I was already on the fence about the game in general, it definitely, I can only imagine what other people are thinking. But
I'm excited.
You do have to say too that most people aren't even going to know who Randy Pitchford is, anyways.
Well, it's because I don't think he's like directly involved. He's just the CEO they kind of report to.
I think he's the most involved because he is the CEO.
I don't know. I just thought, every time I hear him talk about the game, he's just like, I've received this progress update, and then he tells them about it, but he doesn't actually like talk about any decisions he has to make.
But yeah,
well, like you're saying, we're in the minority. Obviously, there's always going to be those 99% of people who are just playing 2K and Call of Duty who are also going to go, ooh, Borderlands.
Yeah, it's just
like
going to have Borderlands
a lot.
attached to it, and they're gonna buy it. So we'll see how it goes.
It's totally fine to like something, but part of liking something is being critical of it too. If you like something, then you should have a good sense of whether something is like a little off or not. You know what I'm saying? I was just looking at the original characters. I was looking for a picture. That
original characters compared to nowadays are boring. Like in the base game?
They're much more diverse. Like they all have very individual identities compared to what I'm seeing here. Like this looks like Anthem, or you know what I'm saying? Like it's this really generalized kind of. I don't want to say generic, but like they all look like they work at the same company.
Wait, which ones are you saying are more diverse?
The original set of characters.
What, Sniper Guy, Siren, Punchman, and then Soldier?
Yes.
That was their whole identity.
I'm talking about the character designs. These guys just have yeah, it's fine. It's fine. we can have differences of opinion. It's fine.
But yeah, that's my news, at least for today.
Well, thank you very much. Which one of y'all want to go next?
Okay. Right. First and foremost, let's start with something really small. Liza P expansion is going to be adding boss replays and a boss rush mode, and is also getting difficulty options to make the Souls-like more accessible.
Now, we all played that, and none of us finished it.
I was like near the end.
No,
but I never actually finished it.
And I don't think any of us had a really good reason why. Like it was fine. I just was done.
I did not play it.
Why not?
I think I just didn't want to pay for it, and also it didn't look that interesting to me.
I played it on Game Pass, I think.
I didn't have Game Pass at the time.
Are you excited for this DLC? Are you gonna play it?
No, probably not.
No,
I don't. I did not have a great time with Liza P, and I could not tell you why. Something was missing.
Yeah, right.
I got halfway through it, and then just decided I was done.
Yeah, it wasn't like overly difficult. It just felt kind of monotonous, I guess, would be like the most critical I could be of it. But I couldn't even really, I only played till I played like a quarter of it. And I can't even say it was bad. Like there's nothing really wrong with it. I couldn't stay interested, I guess.
I'm just more surprised that boss refights are not more common in this genre. of game.
That's weird.
I think I mentioned, was it Elden Ring? I thought Elden Ring should have had like like they should all just have an arena in there somewhere where you can just, I want to do that again, you know.
I want to do that again, but better.
Yeah. All right, cool. Still trying to find like a picture of the original Borderlands. They're all so tiny.
300 by 200. That's the only resolution you're
Yeah.
allowed.
They're all so tiny. I can't, it's not even worth like posting.
I'll say back when it first came out, yeah,
Ridiculous.
they had identities, but if you compare them nowadays, the newer ones, they're
Well, I mean, that's just
More generic looking.
a product of, an advancement in just character design in general.
Roland's dead ass stare.
Like the ability to like add more detail to the characters in this art style. They just got better at it. So it's just more like like half the cast are just clones of Overwatch characters. So they feel more stale in comparison.
Yeah, it might just be they feel that way considering what we've already seen, you know? So, oh, well, maybe the game will be good. I really don't even give a shit about the characters. I just hope the writing is good. That's what I want, because the writing for 3 was like really detrimental to my liking for the series. 2 and 1 I loved. 3 was really what put me off. And so I hope this one's like they really went hard on the humor and the world.
I like 3, even though it wasn't the strongest of the entries, but I still enjoyed it for what it was.
Which one was 3 again? I don't even remember.
Siblings. The one with the siblings.
The twins. Yeah.
Which
Oh,
Yeah. That was the one.
Hell, I enjoyed the pre-sequel as well.
I think the pre-sequels were fine. I turned those off as well. I thought they were good. I just wasn't into them. That one wasn't the game. That one was me being like, I don't think I want to play Borderlands right now.
I played it for 4 hours and then I never went back.
3?
The pre-sequel.
Oh, the pre-sequel.
I have.
Well, that one was
How many hours do I have in pre-sequel? I've got 87.
Sorry, we're done with that. What you got next?
All right, next. The Lego Group has requested that the fan project of Bionicle Massive Power, after 8 years of development, is to be shut down in its entirety and removed from the public eye.
Oh.
Wait, what?
And that's a Lego Bionicle game that's been in development.
Yeah,
right?
it's a fan project that they were working on with.
I'll continue, stars.
That they were working on
know it was a thing.
That they were working on for 8 years, and from what I understand, they were in contact with the Lego project, like the group, to make sure that like they're abiding by their guidelines and other things to make sure like this is okay. And that though I don't think they've ever got the official like this is fine. Like they
didn't get a cease and desist.
Yeah,
you know?
or like go for you can do this. We okay, because Lego Group has endorsed fan projects before, from what I understand. But I don't believe they ever like gave the like complete go ahead. It was more that they were aware of it and like they were trying to make sure that everything they did was within guidelines, but didn't get a 100% in writing. This is fine. But yeah, no. Apparently, it was to be shut. It is to be shut down after they've been working on it for 8 years.
Dang, that sucks.
That's a whole series. Like the Lego games, I've never had any interest in, and then also Bionicle apparently has like a monstrous fan base.
Bionicle fans are scary.
Yeah. Every once in a while, I'll see like a 12-hour YouTube video pop up of like, here's Bionicle from start to finish and all the things you should know. And
nah, it's the 12-hour video, like, Bionicle's lore part 1.
Yeah.
It's just like
people go hard with that stuff. And this is like I think it's the 4th time during our run where you've brought up a company being like, we're about to be done with our fan project, and a company going, nah, you're done now.
Stop.
They totally do that shit on purpose.
Do they? What
well,
for?
because like for this, it like one of the common things that I see people point out is it's free market research.
Oh, yuck.
So you could be like, is there interest in this? Yes. There's also stuff like the Metroid 2 fan remake that basically released right before a remake of Metroid 2 came out by Nintendo. That one got a cease and desist, but they did the smart thing of they already released the full game on the internet, and it was up for some amount of time before they got that cease and desist. So it's never being taken off the internet forever.
It exists forever now. Yeah. Man, and that's like well, at least it makes me kind of feel better about what Bethesda did with Elden Ring, or not Elden Ring, Oblivion, yeah, and just like I guess just let them have that version as well instead of telling them nope,
Not
we're
only
shutting
that,
you down and releasing our thing now.
they've also been like promoting the Sky Oblivion, like, so they're like, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, they gave everyone on the dev team in the mod a copy of the remaster.
Here's your version, but better.
Well, no, they did that, and then they even gave them like free publicity. Like they put up trailers themselves of the Sky Oblivion mod footage and stuff.
I'm watching the gameplay because they released a video of them basically like showing everything that they made. The animations in the game are actually really crazy. Like this is crazy good
for the fan project, because you're talking about the demo they had because they originally said they wanted to drop it, I think August 10th of this year, but because they got this, they basically wanted to upload a video of going through the entire demo as its current state, to show what they were able to do before they got this shutdown.
Yeah, that's what I'm watching, and it looks really good. Like it's actually surprising that like there are aspects of this that I would be surprised that it's a fan project. There's other parts of it where you can tell, but like the actual animations and attacks that they're doing, it looks professionally done. It's really good.
What was it called?
Bionicle Masks of Power.
Man, I haven't seen anything Bionicle in a long time.
Same.
I've played Bionicle games before and had Bionicles. I could not tell you a single thing about it. Gun to head, name one character and I'm done.
I didn't even realize that there was like an overarching kind of character base. I thought it was just like make your own things.
Oh no, the lore is nuts. As I was quoting earlier, the 12-hour video, the lore of Bionicle Part 1.
That's like what's the other one they do that people really like? The ninjas.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Or Lego Ninjago?
No, the Lego Ninjas, yeah.
Lego Ninjago, I think. I only remember that because he used to just be on TV all the time in the background.
Yeah, same here, except I'd turn it off. I was not really interested in another one. Like when that came out, there were already so many like I've seen my fair share of like oh, you know why? Because I went through it with the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because you'd have like something like that come out, and then suddenly there'd be like Street Sharks and Power Rangers, Beetleborgs, and
oh my god,
VR Troopers, and like just every time something popular would happen, there'd be 100 clone shows of it, and I was like done with it.
Reminded me about Beetleborgs.
Big bad Beetleborgs.
Big bad Beetleborgs.
And they had like a genie they talked to.
I think I remember watching the shit of Beetleborgs, dude. Oh my god, that reminds me of I actually don't know if you guys would know it. I imagine one of you would, but like I saw something recently on Metabots, and I was
What's that?
It was like an anime, kind of.
Oh, like Zoids?
No, it was like robot fighting kind of thing. They put metals in these robot. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, they're like little chibi robots, right?
They're like these little frames that they stick metals in, and then they'd come to life, and they'd use them to fight.
Yeah,
but I used to love Metabots as a kid, and then I saw something like was like I think I saw something recently, and I was like, that still exists.
That's funny. I YouTube Metabots and it brought up Zoids. It really knows.
I think it was the same era.
It was. It probably was.
It was totally the same era. As the same era as Monster Rancher stuff too.
Did the Bionicle creator people, did they have any response to it, or Or are they just like, I guess we're done now, and faded into the ether?
They had that post that they have a doc, which is where they link the video of them going through the demo,
okay.
and they basically just like stated their final thoughts on the project and like what I think they had a section on what they might be doing next.
All right, then. Well, I wish them the best. What else you got?
Our next thing is looping back to a fan favorite of Star Citizen. So after raising over $800 million from his community, Star Citizen added a ship upgrade that in the shop for $12 to $49, I think. It was a range depending on like which ship it was for. And the problem with this is that when they were first released, they were only purchasable with real money.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if any game was to do that, I kind of like, I have this feeling that like, if you're playing Star Citizen, you know that you're in it because you want to spend
You know
the
what
money,
this
right?
is about. Like,
Yeah,
come on
this
now.
is not, nobody's like,
Yeah.
this is probably a game made by people who just love games. Like,
There's no
this
way to
is-
earn this
is-
in game. I have to spend money.
because the problem
Like,
with that
come
is that
on.
most other things in like the store that they were selling in have a version of you could buy with real money or an in-game currency equivalent.
I'm kind of surprised there's an in-game currency at
Same.
all.
But I read that, but no, apparently this made people very mad. Because there was only the real money option and no like in-game economy way to buy it.
True, and that's their investors. They have to please the investors. I'm sure they fixed that right away.
Oh yeah.
Like,
That
why not
game.
just go full pay to win? Like, just full pay. Like, there are no upgrades due to experience or skill or in-game currency. Like, if you want to do well, you better fork over another $1.
Behold capitalism,
Like-
the video game.
Yeah, credit card battlers.
CC
Just-
battlers.
You just swipe your card and a little thing pops up. You win or you lose, and you go next battle.
Pay to unload. Now you got to pay for the next battle too.
You know, I wish they didn't fix it because honestly, I can't believe people are still funding that game. Like
They got to
it
8
is
million,
so-
800 million. Like
it is one of the most funded games of all time ever.
what is more funded
Like-
than it?
Like Genshin Impact, I know. That's about it. There isn't really many others.
Claire Obscure costs 20 to 30 million.
Like
And that's highballing it.
For those who are still here and can't get out.
the amount of money that's been put into the game, you could buy one of the ships that are in the game in real life.
You could,
Like,
you could make a real.
yeah, we could have just made it by now. Like this is crazy.
Oh,
I wonder if the game's any fun.
I don't know.
I still don't know what the game looks like. I couldn't tell you like what it actually is like to play the game because like I can't tell it's all like cutscenes every time I look at like trailers or anything.
I think
my
I saw
number one
it
thing
once.
is that like it's a bunch of different segments of a video game. It was the
Yeah, I'll see
impression I
like
got.
someone like going outside of their starship and they look around and be like, "Ooh, that's pretty," and then the video ends. Like that's all I've seen of it.
Oh, the event that they had where they were showing off like Squadron, I think, right? And the game crashed.
Yeah, going through the portal.
The
Yep.
demonstration. Oh,
I
I wanted to release someday just because I want to see what the end result of this game is.
Why would they release it if
The ultimate like long con train wreck that I've been watching like from a very far distance for a decade. I want to see
I mean-
where it ends.
why would they release it if it's making them so much money?
Because they
that's
could
where I'm
release
at. Like,
number
this is a
2 and
scam.
start it all over again.
Like, is this the game where we saw the clip of the guy and he's like, "Oh, we finally get to travel to the next space place."
Yep.
And he goes through the tunnel loop, and then it says PC error, and the game crashes once he arrives.
Yeah, that's the game.
Wow, what a realistic dimension.
Dude, like I just don't understand. And what's crazy too is they delay the release of the thing.
Pretty sure.
So they're like they're thinking about it. They haven't even said that they're going to like what they're gonna do. They've just delayed it for now because of the backlash. Is that correct?
Yeah, from what I understand, it's just delaying the release of it. Like it's coming. It's probably coming in the future.
How long has that game been?
12 years.
It has to have been over a decade,
yeah,
right?
it's 12 years, I think.
12 years.
I want to say off the top of my head, that's the number that comes to mind.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
I see.
they are totally going to do that thing where they just remake the entire thing again. Because like just for context, like The Witcher 3, they had to do that at like half of that. Like 6 years in development for The Witcher 3, they had to switch engines because the one they were working with just didn't have the tools that they needed to make what they were trying to make. It's been double that for this game. They're totally just going to be like, yeah, this engine it really can't accomplish the gargantuan task that we want Star Citizen to really be. So we're going to have to redo everything from scratch. We'll need another $800 million.
From what I'm reading, like it runs like
Yeah.
you have to have really, really nice stuff to make it like it's not optimized very well at all.
I'm not surprised.
And honestly, if I were them, I'd just keep going. Just make a Guinness World Record out of it. You know, the most expensive, time-consuming game development, and just live off of that. Like No Man's Sky lives off its infamy. Just do the same thing with Star Citizen, and people will play it just to play it. You know,
So
make a goal out of it.
I can't, man. Like, it's so wild.
Watch, it finally finishes, and it turns out to be like one of the greatest space games ever created. Wipes everything else off the board.
They release it, and it's just Star Wars Battlefront, like the PlayStation version.
It's the gummy ships from Kingdom Hearts.
God damn it.
Oh, it'd be great. You know what's crazy is like I feel like No Man's Sky kind of already does sort of what Star Citizen does, anyways.
It doesn't it does.
Yeah.
Like I guess I have to I don't know if this has like a economy like Eve. Like I kind of feel like you know what? I don't know. I don't know too much about this game other than it's not worth what it's worth. That's it.
What is
That's
it
all
worth?
I really know. Maybe
Apparently
almost $1 billion.
Can we get there?
That's what I'm saying. Keep going. Push it. Milk everybody. Whatever.
Oh. On to another community that is upset with what their devs are doing. So I don't know if you guys have heard, but we got a bunch of leaked gameplay of Battlefield 6, where like a full like 1 hour upload of like their like closed beta tests or whatever they're doing. Alpha, beta, I forget which one it is, but it has been uploaded, right? And it's basically
someone's fired.
Don't worry. And then another person apparently has uploaded another 1.5-hour match against their NDA.
Oh, no.
But so people we're excited, very happy, because it seems to be that they're going back to a Battlefield 3/4 style in terms of like the art direction. And everyone was hype, and DICE basically went, all right, guys, we're listening to the community because we want the game. We're going to make the game that you guys want. And then they immediately announced very recently that weapons are not going to be class locked. And to say that upset at the Battlefield community is an understatement.
No!
Because it's basically,
oh my God.
it's literally the thing of like players want classes with design things. We're not going to do that. Universal weapons for everybody.
So Call of Duty.
This is like that idea, man. You're like, you're doing everything right, and they do this like, fuck you, no.
Why can't you be normal?
You still haven't learned.
Dude,
If you don't like it, don't buy it.
so hard.
Guys, just listen to your
Battlefield
fucking
3.
community. This is the third game in a row.
They gotta revert. They can't just let, because that was immediate. Everybody got mad.
Everyone got so
Everyone hated
Everybody
that.
disliked that.
Yeah, they'll have to revert. There's no
I
way.
just like, at this point, the Battlefield community is just like, make Battlefield 4 again. And they're going, we don't know what they want. Everything we try. And it's just make the old games again. We have no
Battlefield 4.
idea.
That is like the only game I went back and just played on like the player ran servers to go play again. That's the only game I've ever done that for, was Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. I love those games. They were so good.
I think the last.
Oh my god.
I think the
Oh, I'm
last
so angry.
Battlefield I played was Battlefield 1.
Makes me think of that. Like, we'll stop buying so many candles.
Oh.
No.
Please, someone else who's good with budgeting, help me. My family is starving. It's been lost on candles. No. Like, oh my god, just listen to your community. They keep telling.
It's just gotta just make the game again. It could literally be the same game. I don't even care. Like, they could just port it over and not change anything and just have official servers up. I will play the shit out of it.
I want to play a Battlefield game so bad. That's part of the reason BattleBit exploded when it did. It's like it
Didn't
dies.
that game die?
I mean, I think it probably still has players, but it hasn't gotten an update in over a year.
I think they
Yeah, they didn't do anything with it. And ultimately, like, BattleBit was a cool game, but it's also ultimately just a game that was similar to Battlefield, and you're still playing just Roblox. Like, that's just kind of
That's
Well,
exactly
it's because
why I
there's
didn't
no
wanna play
fucking
it.
modern day Battlefield to play in a traditional sense.
that's
It
how
was
much
fun
people
for a
want
time.
it. Like,
I know.
They're like, "F it, I'll play Roblox Battlefield at this point.
The best part is Battlefield 5, Battlefield 2042. Like, as they get closer and closer, like to like later in the lifespan, they just slowly get closer and closer to the traditional Battlefield. Because shocker, that's what people wanted. Like, from what I understand, Battlefield 5, right before they cut support, was actually getting pretty good. And 2042 is not a complete disaster right now. Don't know where it's at.
partial.
So, what is it about Battlefield 3? What do they want that the other versions don't give? Because I liked Battlefield 1 totally fine.
Battlefield 1 is probably the last
thought it
the
was great.
traditional sense.
Yeah, one was good. I just wanted like a modern game or instead. Like that was it.
They
There was
just wanna-
nothing like fundamentally wrong with Battlefield 1,
Okay.
to be
Just
honest.
that it was-
Just so
yeah, the
people
era.
just want like
It's just been like
a current war
Yeah.
that's not Call of Duty.
they want a modern Battlefield because like the last modern Battlefield has been well over a decade at this point, right? Because it'd be Battlefield 4.
Yep.
And people are sick of the future Battlefields.
Well,
They're sick of the old
Battlefield
ones too.
for me, like the difference between that and Call of Duty is just like an arcade shooter where everyone's running around like running gunning. With Battlefield, the squad system that the game had lets you just have like so much fun just playing with your friends that like I could not like emulate in Call of Duty, where it feels like I'm just running around by myself. Like there was so much like
Yeah.
wacky shit you can do, and you'd be like having fun with your friends, like going around, like doing stupid shit. And then there'd be a tank that just runs through the wall right in front of all of you, and like half of you get like murdered, everyone's running away, and you're all trying to spawn on top of each other to stay where you're at because you're in like a really good spot where you can like see like when the enemy spawns at like a really good angle. It was just like a fun game that was like super open. And you had like pockets of just like a group of friends fighting another group of friends, and they were just stuff was happening all the time.
Yeah, no, because
Yeah, sorry, but I'm like right there. I think I see what you're talking about, because I think one of the first uploads I ever did was like me and my buddy just out in the desert on Battlefield 1. Like there's a whole war happening, but we're just out here trying to snipe the planes just because. Like, and I got one, and I was so shocked. I was like, I didn't even know you could shoot the pilot out of the plane. And that was like a great time.
The parts that I always enjoy in Battlefield is because you have the huge lobbies of like there's like the full scale battle going on, but usually in the middle of it is these little sub grudge matches develop.
Yeah,
where it's like you and a few others versus a few other people will always develop like we're gonna fight over this rooftop for 3/4 of this game. It's not gonna help either team win, but by God, it's going to be my rooftop.
Yeah, winning the match isn't the objective, it seems. Not like Call of Duty. You know, wins and losses don't matter. What matters is if you got that artillery truck or not. You know?
And there's like some stupid shit you can do sometimes too. Like I remember when I played with my uncle, we would like do a sniper. And one thing we figured out you could do is the recon drone that you could like have fly around. You could stand on it. So we have one person stand on it and like elevate them up into the air and just see how many people we could kill before we died.
Could you also put like claymores on those fucking
the
things?
Claymore. You put the Claymore down
Claymore
and you'd have
drone.
it chase someone down. The fucking suicide drones. Because
you didn't even have to do that. You could like actually kill people just by running into them. So we'd like duo like just try to murder other snipers that are like in sniping spots.
Yeah, you're like watching a point, all of a sudden you say it's like like, I don't know what it's gonna.
The game was so fun because it didn't try to treat you like you're supposed to be like some kind of main character that's like doing all this crazy shit. It just made team and like friend play like a thing that was easily achievable and just fun to do. And the class system and why people are complaining helps do that too, because it solidifies the identity of the role that you are playing in that friend group. Like you have someone who's healing, you have someone that's supposed to just like run in with a shotgun, murder as many people as they can before they die, and then they respawn on the sniper's respawn beacon. Like it's just a good game.
USS frag rounds, my beloved.
Yeah, like
Kind of reminded me of
fucking it up.
You know what? Like there was a big old multiplayer game I remember playing a lot of when I was younger. Like this is like PS3 era. But MAG. Anybody remembers MAG? Which is short for Massive Action Game. But that game had 250 something like player lobbies. Like you have like a couple hundred people in there, massive gunfights.
Yeah, that's crazy. How big has Battlefield's gotten? Is it 100 v 100?
Is it now?
128, I think, or no, 64. Yeah, so 64 versus 64, I think.
Is it? Okay. I wasn't sure if they hit 100 v 100 yet. Because I remember when 32 and now 64 are out. I don't know. That sucks though. Hopefully they'll revert that. I feel like that's an easy change to do. It's just more will they set aside the pride to do it in the first place? That I don't know.
Oh yeah, Mag was 256 people in lobbies. So you have like what, 128 on each team? That was crazy.
That makes sense, yeah, because decimal. I
don't even remember like specific systems, but like I just remember having a lot of fun with that game.
Yeah, those types of games are fun. I remember playing Dust 514. That Eve like shooting clone also had a ton of people in it too. PlanetSide 2. One thing I didn't like about PlanetSide was that it's super laggy. The servers suck.
Well, it's kind of weird because when we went to play PlanetSide 2, it's definitely changed from when I originally played it. Because when I originally played it, it felt different, and now, obviously, yeah, again, it's changed a lot. But
yeah, it's I think it's still like pretty good for what it is. But no, it's just Battlefield 3 was a lot of fun. Battlefield 4 is a lot of fun. I want to play them again.
So the other thing is that I think because of this, like there's a resurgence in other DICE games, including Battlefront 2, has apparently just broken its all-time player count on Steam. Like today, I think, either today or yesterday.
What happened? Did they do something?
I don't know if it's just this news with Battlefield 4 or what's happening. exactly what caused the Star Wars Battlefront 2 resurgence, but it's happened.
I don't really
I'm
think
reading that.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm reading that they just recently patched. They added a patch and took care of a lot of cheaters, so that might be part of it.
Yeah, because they've said that they would be willing to come back to work on the game, but I think other than that patch, there's no plans besides to fix any more issues that pop up.
And from what I remember, Battlefront 2 is a great game. It's just it had business practices.
Because
Yeah, I
it's also
remember
the
that,
same
yeah.
thing that happened with Battlefield 5, where once the game got into a really good state and people were starting to enjoy it, is they cut the life support on it. Is because like apparently Battlefield 5 and Battlefront 2 were like really starting to get to be really good games, which is kind of a reoccurring theme with Battlefields, where they release really terribly and then get pretty good. Because even Battlefield 4 was that way with its like what 10 tick rate servers on launch or something like that, which was less than stellar. But they seem to have this issue, but hopefully they can come back to work on it or keep it updated, but I don't see that happening.
I don't either.
Well, so on top of that, these are all good points. The dude in Reddit is saying, current Fortnite season is Star Wars themed. They had the new show that apparently is good, and then the May the 4th be with you game sale. Like all these things coinciding led to Battlefront.
Yeah, that would do it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Anything else?
Yep, and on to our last piece of news, which I posted in the thing. We're getting a live action Elden Ring movie on the way from A24 and from director Alex Garland.
Oh no.
No, A24 can actually make a movie. Not all of them are great. I watched that. I think that Werewolves one was A24.
They're the ones behind Everything Everywhere All at Once, right? I believe that.
And Hereditary and Midsommar, a bunch of those like slow burn horror movies.
And then,
or they're what they got popular for.
Did Alex Garland direct any of those? Because I know he's the one who does the 28 Days Later, right? And 28 Weeks Later, if I'm not mistaken.
He did Ex Machina and Annihilation, and 28 Days. But he's got. I didn't really like that Civil War movie, but he's got a very solid filmography. So there's a chance, as long as it's not done by Sony and starring Mila Jovovich, like I'll give it a shot.
Well, you don't like her?
No.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, the director's played more Elden Ring than I have.
Dang.
He's on like a New Game Plus 6 or something like that, he was saying. And then a recent Reddit thread about it.
I was gonna say I hope the action's okay, and then I'm also seeing that he also did the Dread movie that we watched, where
that was a good movie.
Kills all the people. So, dang, he has a really good filmography. Oh, he did the Halo series.
That was your full stop when you did the Halo series.
Well, like a lot of the cinematography for the Halo series, and I think even like the action itself wasn't the issue that I had with the Halo series. It was more the story and the writing.
And the butchering of your lore.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Those wouldn't be there yet.
Toyota trucks.
So
Every time I hear video game movie, I get nervous. I get really nervous.
Well,
It's not that they can't be done. It's just there's been a lot of really bad ones.
Like the best ones are the Sonic movies.
Yeah.
Like for real, which is really sad. Nothing against Sonic. It's just like there's so many cool stories. But the Last of Us show is really good. I think I'm faltering on this second season.
Understandable.
Fill out.
Well, the characters just are dumb.
Yeah.
Like it feels like it's rushing things. There's a big problem where characters act a certain way throughout the whole first season, and they're just not the same characters now. And I understand there's like a time jump and stuff, but like characters that were.
Guys, the second season goes off of Last of Us 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was one of my biggest problems. Last of Us 2 is that the characters in 2 do not act anything like the characters in 1. Like they're almost like they're rewritten different characters. It's stupid.
Well, I've done some research, and people who've played both games and watched the series are like, in the games, they're not quite like this either. In the show, they've taken characters that are self-sufficient and, who could survive, and suddenly turn them into screaming babies and stuff.
I always remember the opening of 2 and being pissed off at what they did to the main character. What?
Well, regardless of that, I don't really care about that. The show's just kind of taking a nosedive on its entertainment factor for me. So,
did you guys ever watch the Until Dawn movie?
No,
it just came out.
We keep wanting to watch movies in here, and we never are all on at the same time.
Oh yeah, should watch that.
No. We should still Ready Player One. We still haven't watched the Black Mirror episode.
Yeah, we do have to watch that tomorrow.
Yes,
I want to watch it too if I'm around. I hope I am.
No,
I hope so too.
Yeah, because
we're just gonna watch it.
The Until Dawn movie is now on streaming services, but it's $20.
Oof, I'm not paying for it.
What's the reception?
Bad.
Not good.
I don't even have to look it up. I know it's bad.
Wasn't Until Dawn designed to be like a game that was basically like a movie anyways?
Yes, it's an interactive movie. It's not even a game.
Why the f- you make a movie if you already made an interactive movie?
Because
money.
Double dipping.
Stupid.
Yeah, they did all the work for him. I just gotta film it and do it again.
Also, shout outs to the remake of Until Dawn being just a broken game.
Is it?
Yeah, they actually made it worse, which is crazy.
Because one of the biggest issues was that like music was just all fucked up. Like they added music scenes where no music was before because it was supposed to be like silent, right? And then there's music and now scenes that originally didn't have music, and then vice versa. Where there was music, now it's just silence.
And they hit a randomizer.
Yeah, I think there was also a problem where to make it look nicer, they also with the lighting, which with the original aesthetics of the game and made scenes
completely ruined.
Nowhere near as tense as they were.
Ruined mood, atmosphere.
Yep.
I'm just very interested to see where this Elden Ring movie goes.
Try to Elden Ring.
Who knows that the Elden Ring will be in there?
Maybe I'll finally understand.
No,
you think it's going to be a confusing mess, or they'll tell me like exactly what's going on?
That's the funny part. Is I wonder, it's like if you don't already know the lore, I just imagine you're completely boned. Or they're gonna have to like, here's the 15-minute exposition to explain what's happening.
They're gonna give you homework. Like when you go to watch the movie, the day before you'll get something in the mail that'll be like, all right, you need to read this first.
Here's your lore book.
Yeah, because you can't like click on items to find out why something is the way it is. You can't Wikipedia. I don't know how that's going to appeal to the general audience.
This movie could
One
be
general audience.
The Venn diagram of people who will watch movies and Souls players are two different circles.
Yeah, but they're trying to unify.
I don't even know how they're going to do this.
That's what I'm interested in, because it's.
I mean, like the first thing I think of is the Warcraft movie, where they just really simplified. Like they took a very small part of it and just blew that out the best they could, and it did so well they didn't make any sequels.
I wonder if we'll just get something like The Shattering. Because I wonder if that's what they'll do.
I don't know. I'm thinking they'll just go to the first castle and end it there. They'll run into Margit and be like, "Oh,
it's just 90 minutes of the Tarnished one just getting his shit rocked."
Yeah, well, because like you're not like with a party or friends, or like what you're gonna put comic relief in there, or like what?
There could be a touch finger butthole.
Yeah, there's got to be a joke in there,
or a Fortnite message.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Do you think they'll add "Let Me Solo Her"? Think he'll get a cameo?
It would be legendary.
He's too iconic. He has to be.
It's actually insane how crazy popular that dude became.
Yeah,
I mean, he was committed to the bit.
He's there to do what he's there to do.
Yeah, I don't have the highest of hopes for that. I'm thinking it'll just be like a very quiet movie dialogue
Excuse me.
wise. I forgot where I was going.
It's going to be a lot of
All right.
spectacle, I feel, in terms of like the views.
A lot of long shots and cinematography.
Definitely
rather
a
than
2-hour movie.
at least with like 10 lines of dialogue. Or it'll be a lighthearted comedy where he just dies over and over again.
There's always the
Laugh
official
track in the background.
The official manga for it is actually just absurd.
We'll just put
Who
the
knows?
manga up there in video format. That'll do it.
Like, there's a part of the manga when the protagonist fights Margit where he just gives up and starts crying, and Margit just calls him basically and tells him like where to go get some new stuff to upgrade and become a better fighter so he can actually come back and give him a challenge.
Who knows? I guess we'll find out. Well, thank you, Strider. What do you got, Soon?
So I got a few things. First off, did you guys
Tell
know?
me all about them.
Did you guys know Final Fantasy 11 is still getting updates this day? Like 23 years
No.
later. Apparently, I thought it was dumb, but no. Apparently, Final Fantasy 11 is still going.
Wait, I thought 11 was 14.
What? No, they're both
no, they're
different
they're
MMOs.
separate.
Really?
14
Yeah,
got
7,
rebooted,
14
which is
yeah.
what you're probably thinking of, which was 1.0 into 2.0.
Yeah, that's why it's called
Oh.
The Realm Reborn, because they rebooted it.
That's wild. Why would anybody still play 11?
But apparently, like it still has an active PC community, and they're still updating it. Like they just added, or not added, but it's coming. They're adding an update that lets you change your character's looks finally, and like over like the
Yeah.
last year, they've added stuff as small as gamepad configuration, and stuff as big as like new trials, like new master trials and stuff. Like they're working on
Huh.
making big systems and everything else.
Why?
I guess it's
thought
got.
that they
I
were
guess it's got
cutting-
that strong of a community still.
Weren't they cutting support of it though?
They
You
were
can't play
thinking
it on
about it
console
last-
anymore.
They were thinking about it last year that they were going to stop it. But
Well, I thought they were gonna go and like just leave the servers on and kind of have one guy make sure that the lights are on.
Apparently not.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. I guess.
I think it was. Yeah, player interest was high enough
Oh,
that they
I wonder how
kept
many
it
players
around.
it actually has.
I don't actually know.
11.
Hold on. No, I'm trying to see. Can I see?
I mean,
anything?
it does have 11 players.
Well, yeah, at least. I don't know how accurate this is. Estimate the daily player count of Final Fantasy 11 to be 5,065.
Wow,
That's daily, with a total player base of 1.7 million.
that's crazy.
Yeah, I guess people still highly enjoy it. I thought that was a neat thing. Another thing I had was I didn't realize, but today, Lionel, you'd probably be interested in it because now you have a wish listed. But Tainted Grail: The Fall of Avalon finally got its full release today.
I did see that.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I got an email about it.
I had it. I picked it up early access and played for a bit, and then I was like, I want to wait and see what this kind of turns into when it's fully done. And I waited and kind of forgot about it. And then when I saw the full release, I was like, holy crap. I was like, what does this turn into? I didn't realize it was going to become such a big like game size wise.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with it. I remember wishlisting a long time ago, and it looks like a cool game. I just have to wait till I can actually get it.
Like the darker.
I don't know anything about it.
Well, I mean, you obviously know it's like, but dark. What would you say? Dark Arthurian legend kind of?
Yeah, like definitely gothic Arthurian is kind of what it feels like.
It goes off of the dark, like that whole very I don't know what to call it. It's like grim
Yeah, I
dark
wouldn't know the-
Arthurian stuff.
Yeah, it seems really cool. I'm definitely about it, but I just haven't been able to actually get it. And then I think I remember when I first wishlisted it, there were some issues with the game, and that's why I didn't get it right away.
I
But
picked
from
it
what
up
people
very
are
early.
saying now, it seems to be in like a really good state. So
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll have to play it.
It's finally out of early access today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have to play it, and I'll if I do, it wouldn't be next week. I'll talk about it, but the week after. So,
Now that I know that's fully
I'll let
released,
you
I'm going to
guys know.
reinstall it here tonight and give it a go.
oh, do you own it? I didn't know you own
no,
it.
like I said, I picked it up when like it was like early iterations.
Oh, gotcha.
And played
I
it for
bought
like
it
an
today.
hour or two, and then I was like, I can definitely see this being really cool when they get it done with it. And then I meant to keep updating like updates on it, and then I forgot. And now that it's out, it's like I was like, oh, now it's out. Let's go look and see what stuff they added. And now it's like what seemed like a small thing is now like, oh yeah, the game is like 50 to 70 hours with over 200 side quests and a bunch of other assortment of activities. And I'm like, okay, I got a new Skyrim style RPG to play.
Because the reason I was waiting is because every time they had a major update is they nuke your saves.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
That's why I was waiting
well.
for 1.0, because 1.0's release here is the final time they've done a save wipe.
But yeah, also their descriptions for the type of characters you can play, like a crazy alchemist berserker punching enemies to death, mystical blacksmith mage summoning undead hordes. If you want to be a stealthy archer, you can be that too. That sounds boring as compared to the other ones, though.
Hey, you be nice.
The final thing I had as well is I talked about that Fortnite Darth Vader AI thing.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, video game voice actor union is taking the Darth Vader chatbot to court.
Is he defending himself?
I was gonna ask how does that work?
So that's how
I
it's
have
phrased.
altered the
They're actually
deal.
going after
They're going after Epic Games, right?
Epic. It's the company's subsidiary, Llama Productions, the ones that kind of put it into play. Yeah, they're accusing the company's subsidiary Llama Productions of using AI to replace the work of human performers.
Yeah,
Or
that's
So,
at
because
least
did they have a
replacing-
contract?
I don't know.
It's a very specific way they're going about suing here, because I think it's that they have to like try to say that like the role that the AI is used here is used in a way that a human could have done it, right? But
Yeah.
is, well, I believe, one of the stipulations. But the thing that muddles this a little bit is the fact that Darth Vader's voice actor has said that he would allow them to use his voice with AI before he
That's the
died.
thing is that James Earl Jones is like he like literally straight up just sold the rights to his voice. So that's one of the weird things here. It looks like a lot of what they're saying is like, you didn't ask us first.
Yeah, because Epic didn't sit down and negotiate with them was one of the things that they had. From what I understand, they had to do.
They probably had to offer it to someone and then have it refused.
They had to negotiate with them in the first place.
Yeah.
Basically, was what they're trying to argue. Because
That makes sense.
Because the thing I was seeing is that like it's going to be really hard to prove that a person could have done this role, because you can't expect a person to be able to read off everyone's name. Like in a game typing was one example I saw used. Like Darth Vader saying each person's username.
Yeah, the chatbot actually interacts with the usernames and everything else, the information it takes in. Kind of hard for it. Unless you want to have them sit there in real time.
Yeah, man, just get trillions and trillions of voice actors to do it all at once at the same time.
Take trillions of voice actors for the billions of people on the planet.
It's weird
Yeah, just to
like,
make sure
yes,
you have enough.
I understand why they're coming at them, but it's also very strange because the AI is doing something that would be kind of unrealistic to expect a person to do.
Yeah, but they kind of had to try. It's like a slippery slope situation where if you let them get away with this and nothing happens, then they're just going to keep pushing as far as they can. So you might as well just try to put your foot down now.
Yeah. There's also
Even
like
if
that
they
weird spot.
lose the case, they're saying they're still making a statement like if you have to really watch the roles that you're creating and whether you're using AI for it, because we are watching and they will fight for it. It's nice to see that they're actually taking action, especially against such a huge company, even though it's a subsidiary like Epic. So
yeah, it's just like there's like a weird tone with it all, with the fact that Darth Vader's original voice actor did sell his voice, or gave him the rights to it. So in this case, it's kind of like, well, he did say they could do it.
It's that I specifically believe that the SAG-AFTRA contract they have with the Epics is that there's a clause basically that says they have to talk with them before they do anything with AI that could have been done with a real person's voice, which is what I believe they're suing here for unfair labor practice, right?
Yes, that is like a lot. That is one of the phrases I saw thrown around a lot there.
So from what I understand, part of this is proving that a person could have done this, but with the way I understand it's implemented, doesn't seem feasible that a real person could have done this.
True. I'm sure they're probably going to argue that you could make a similar enough product by just having a bot that says pre-generated like messages recorded by a real person. So yeah, it's just going to be kind of a mess. The poor judge that has to look over this. Oh my God.
Not another robot case.
Yeah, basically. Like these AI cases have been just like such a hassle. They've been ridiculous.
Definitely an interesting topic every time. Because then you get, headlines like this one with the union takes the Fortnite Darth Vader chatbot to court.
Yeah, because basically, from what I understand, that meeting would have been very short, that they would have had to have, because they would have been able to prove pretty quickly that, this isn't a job that a person could do with how we're trying to use this. But the fact that this meeting didn't happen at all is the problem.
It's that is the technicality they can probably get them on.
Yeah, if it's a violation of the clause, then they definitely have a case. Yeah, was there anything else?
So, all my other stuff we already talked about. So yeah, that was basically what I had, because we already talked about the other big things I had. I only had small things left. Some fun bits and bobs.
Some bits and bobbles.
I had more. I'm sorry. We talked about it already.
I know, there's a lot going on.
I also want to talk about like all the Warhammer stuff they revealed.
Dude, I was looking at Warhammer like tabletop games today. I didn't realize that there were not like the regular tabletop, but like D&D-esque games.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how many there were, and also how expensive they are.
Dude, all Warhammer stuff is expensive. You should know this.
Even in debt, I still serve.
Exactly.
It's crazy. One DM screen alone was $30. I was like, oh my gosh. I didn't know what it looked like. I didn't even want to click on it.
What
I was scared
exactly
for
is
my
a
wallet.
DM screen?
It's screen to cover like where the DM is, right? While they're doing stuff.
I didn't know if
it's
that
how
was
I
like
understood it.
I didn't know if it was like just straight up that straightforward or not.
So you can't see what I'm doing. Which actually there's kind of some people that find controversy in that.
We gotta stop and be like, Lionel, we need to see both your hands.
That's the thing. You'd be surprised. It's totally a thing. Whether a DM should roll openly or not.
Oh no, I was making a different type of joke. Both your hands may be free, boy.
Filled with dice.
There you go.
Crunchy.
Is you okay? You've been quiet.
I think he left us. He definitely left us.
I think he died.
He totally died.
We can't post this now.
Yeah, we can't close down. What are we supposed to do? It goes on forever. It doesn't end until Fliz is back.
Oh, he's gonna have fun with it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You can actually just check out during the podcast.
I fell asleep.
What?
I legit fell asleep.
Wow.
You gotta find more interesting news, dude.
Damn.
Put Fliz to
I'm
sleep.
just tired.
We really should have not done this.
faster.
We really should not have done this tonight. Holy shit, no one was.
Oh my god. Okay, where were we? I'm sorry.
We're done.
That was it.
We're
We're
done.
just kind of buying time for you
We're
to
done.
come back.
Yeah, we were way.
Oh,
Yeah, we were
fuck.
talking because we're like. So what do you guys say, Fliz? You've been quiet. You just didn't answer.
Oh yeah, no, I've been working since 5 a.m.
I mean, same. I've been up since 5 as well.
He fell asleep.
I dreamed that we were in the podcast.
Train yourself to talk in your
You
sleep
have
so
to
you can
give me
continue.
shit about wanting to put it off because I was tired.
I didn't give you shit. I said, hey man.
That's not
Are
an
you sure?
answer. Was really
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, in that case, thank you all. Are you guys all good
Yeah,
to go?
Yeah, we're talking.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, thank you all so much for listening. We will catch you next week. Hopefully, we'll be a little bit more on the ball. You don't have to leave a like for this one. I feel bad now. If you do want to give me shit, please hit us up at giantenemycrabpod@gmail.com or leave a comment on the video. I would love that. We would love that. And your mom will love it. Your grandma will love it. Everybody will love it. Until next week, we'll be back with more stuff. Goodbye.
Goodbye.